Hello and welcome to part 6 of my guide, where we will briefly talk about Town Hall level 4. At this level, two important elements are added to the game. The first element is the builder base. This is a second base that you can develop almost completely independently from your main base. With the builder base, you can duel fellow players in live PvP mode, but more about that a little bit later. The second element is air units and air defenses. From now on, these will become a very important part of attack and defense strategies. So why are air units so important? Simply because many defense buildings cannot hit them. If you had a base that consisted only of cannons and mortars, your whole base would be flattened against air units. And they would not even take a scratch. On the other hand, they can hit everything, so you can already see the advantage. At Town Hall level 4, you will get access to balloons. This is the weakest air unit. Balloons do not have a lot of health. But on the other hand, they have defense buildings as their favorite targets. And that makes them really useful. A good counter to flying units at this stage are archer towers. Apart from these, you will also get access to a defense building that is specialized in targeting air units only, which is simply called air defense. In the future, it will be important to place these strategically around your base, so that you have a chance of surviving air attacks. If you want to train your attack skills, in addition to the single player campaigns, there is a new game mode that gets unlocked at Town Hall level 4, which is called Practice. In dedicated tutorial sessions, you can learn about some basic principles that are adequate for your current level. And these are actually really well made, so you should take advantage of them. In addition to that, you will also loot a bit of additional resources, so why not take these as well? With regard to standard attack strategies, Town Hall 4 is still about giants, archers and wall breakers working together. But balloons are going to give you a bit more options for dismantling defenses, because most of your opponents that you run into won't have a lot of air defense buildings yet. And a new type of trap gets available, the spring trap. If light units step on these unfortunate individuals are simply going to fly off the map. If you upgrade the traps, they get more so-called spring capacity and can send heavier units or multiple units off your base. So they are quite useful if they are placed in strategic places. With regard to defense strategies, you have to watch out for air units now. So try to place your one and only air defense close to the center of your base. The rest is more or less going to stay the same. With the additional wall elements, you are able to build bigger and more compartments, but if your opponent plays well, your defense will lose. The game at this stage is simply designed to be like that. So finally, let's have a quick look at the biggest new element that gets introduced at this level, the builder base. As mentioned before, things work a little bit differently in your builder base that you can access with this ship here. After another short tutorial, you can build your first buildings and units and develop your base. What makes the builder base so special is that it is another game mode that you play. When you attack another player, he will attack your base at the very same time. And the better attack wins. So in a way, it's another PvP mode with slightly different mechanics using different bases. First of all, your army camps where you train your units cannot be upgraded, which means that they will always hold the same fixed amount of units. However, if you upgrade the units themselves in the so-called Star Laboratory, every now and then their number per base will be increased. Another important difference is that you won't have to train your troops anymore, but you can rather select them before each duel, even after the countdown has already started. So you can customize your army depending on the base of your opponent in real time. This has the nice side effect that you can play these duels as much as you want. You can play one battle after the other, but there is a caveat as well. Only one time per day you will get resources for it, so there is no looting. So it's just about the number of stars and the percentage of destroyed buildings. So this is actually a big constraint, because apart from this one time per day, the only way how you get resources regularly is through gold and elixir mines in your builder base. But this is very restricted, which means that progress in developing your builder base will be very slow. Also, there is just one builder, the master builder. It usually works just in the builder base. However, on special occasions, he will sometimes come over to your regular base and refine your buildings. This is called gearing them up. It only works for some buildings though, and this option will be available first at Town Hall level 8 for a cannon. The attack units and defense buildings work in a quite similar way than their counterparts in your main base. But they are, let's say, a little bit more fancy and sometimes have special abilities. For example, cloak effect or rage effect for a limited amount of time. You will also get access to items that are exclusive to the builder base, like a battle machine. Overall, I find the builder-based game mode really fun to play, because the playstyle is a bit more considerate. You need to conduct surgical attacks with relatively few units, timing and drop zones are very important, and you need the right tactics to make the maximum out of your attack. In the end, the only thing that counts is how you do in comparison to your opponent that attacks your base at the same time. And with every upgrade of your base, all parameters will become a bit more complex. So you need to develop skill that will allow you to survive against ever stronger opponents. In my opinion at least, this makes the development of the builder base really exciting and fun. So that's it for today with our Town Hall 4 guide. Thanks for having watched this video and for stopping by on my channel. Have a fantastic day!